A new video has gone viral of a chick that looks suspiciously similar to Celeste showing up at a David convert. David panicked, big time, leading folks to believe that his hands ain't so clean as he claims they are. And while all this is going on, 5-0 seem to be closing in on him, and the game is all up for him. Things are getting spicy. So let's get right into it. The viral concert footage, so check it. The tragic case of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez had been making major waves since her decomposed body was discovered on September 8, 2025 in the front trunk. They call it the FR of a Tesla. Model X registered to this young singer named David. She had the whole city shook when the news dropped. Real talk. This was heavy from jump. Celeste, who was from Law and had a history of running away from home, had been reported missing since April 20, 24, though the last confirmed sighting of her alive was security footage from a liquor store back in March 20, 24. Moms had even put it out there that her daughter was dating somebody named David, but the family had never even met the dude. That detail right there, that's what had everybody's spidey senses tingling from the rip. Now, when they found Celeste's body, the Tesla had been towed to Hollywood Tow on Bluebird Avenue around September 3rd after being left abandoned on a street in the Hollywood Hills near Doheny Drive. Word on the street was the whip had been sitting there for damn near a month before they even towed. When tow yard workers started smelling something foul coming from the vehicle and alerted the authorities, LAPD pulled up and popped that FR open to discover Celeste's remains. But yo, here's where this whole thing gets even more twisted and grimy. The autopsy results that dropped in late September 2025 put the cause of death on hold pending toxicology, but they confirmed Celeste had been deceased for several weeks before they found her. This timeline was crucial. Fam, if she had been gone for several weeks, that would mean she died sometime around late July or early August 2025, way before David even started his tour. Then on September 23, 2025, everything seemed to flip completely. Someone dropped a comment under a true crime post about Celeste's case, sharing these grainy photos in a short video clip from David's August 24th concert at the Fillmore in Silver Spring, Maryland. The post had 3 images, one showing a teenage girl in a black tube top and dark wash jeans on a VIP balcony, standing next to a young dude that people were saying was David's brother, Caleb Burke.
New video footage of a girl believed to be Celeste at David's concert in late August has surfaced, which would be the last date she was seen alive, but the internet is divided on the latest update about this footage. A girl who looks a lot like Celeste was spotted at David's concert on either the 23rd or the 24th of August in Silver Spring, Maryland. She was up on the balcony on the side of the stage watching on, and it's hard to deny that she resembles Celeste. She looks a lot like.
The implications were wild and had everybody's head spinning. If this really was Celeste posted up at that concert on August 24th, 2025, it would place her alive and well just 15 days before they discovered her body. The whole thing blew up across every platform you could name, with keyboard detectives zooming in on every single frame, analyzing the girl's chin cleft, which was a known feature of Celeste, and claiming that David's knowing glance toward the balcony proved they had something going on. Redditors were going frame by frame with folks posting side-by-side comparisons. Celeste's last confirmed photo from that March 2024 liquor store footage where she was rocking Hello Kitty sandals versus the concert girl. Even the mainstream news couldn't stay out of it. Fox 11 LA ran a segment on September 24th interviewing some concerned parent who said this girl on the balcony, that's Celeste, no cap. David's interacting with her crew. His brother Caleb's right there. That's chilling, bruh. By September 25th, the story had gone international. The Independent over in the UK ran the story as well. But yo, here's what made this footage so captivating and so disturbing at the same damn time. The timing.
Now, the timing here is very important because the concert was about 12 days before David's abandoned Tesla was towed from the Hollywood Hills area near his house. Authorities have said that her body was very badly decomposed, which has led a lot of us to believe she would have had to be dead for at least some length of time before they found her. If that was her in the video, this raises the question of whether or not 12 days was enough time for her body to decompose to the state that it was.
And this is where we gotta pump the brakes for a second and really understand what was on the line here. Because if this footage was legit, if this really was Celeste Rivas at that concert, it would completely change the whole investigation. It would mean she was alive weeks after everybody thought she'd gone missing. It would place her directly in David's circle at his show, possibly kicking it with his brother. It would narrow down when she died to a scary small window, and it would raise even more disturbing questions about what went down in those final days or hours before she passed. The identity crisis. What started as people genuinely trying to identify somebody in a video quickly turned into a full-blown internet mob investigation that would end up having serious consequences for everybody involved. Let me break down exactly what folks were seeing in this footage, and why it had so many people convinced they cracked the case. The timestamp puts the video at August 24, 2025, around 9:15 p.m. Eastern during David's set at the Fillmore Silver Spring, located at 8650 Colesville Road in Silver Spring, Maryland. The venue, this historic 2,000 capacity spot, had sold out shows for David's tour, with tickets starting at $45. Now let me paint the picture of what the video actually shows, because the details matter heavy here at the start of the video. The camera pans to the balcony overlooking the stage, where there's this young woman who looks to be between 16 and 20 years old, posted up against the railing. She's wearing a fitted black tube, top high-waisted, dark jeans, and layered necklaces, a fit that was mad, similar to Steve. Social media selfies from 2023. She's laughing, phoning her hand with what appears to be a visible cleft chin and straight dark hair parted in the middle. Next to her is this lanky teenage dude in a hoodie who fans identified as Caleb Burke, David's younger brother who's 19, along with two other girls in crop tops. But it's what happens after that really had people's antennas up and fueled the wildest theories. David pauses mid-lyric during his song. Feel it, pointing and smiling directly at the balcony crew while saying you can't really hear it on the video, but people were lip-reading it as y'all up there wilding. He waves and Shorty waves back. All enthusiastic fans later claimed this was straight-up flirtatious eye contact, tying into all the allegations about them having a secret relationship beyond just the video itself. Other photos started making the rounds online, including this blurry backstage pic, allegedly from Caleb's phone, that got leaked through Discord. This photo showed the girl hugging up on Caleb after the show with a timestamp of 11:47 p.m. on August 24th. Another pic from the venue's Instagram story that's since been deleted showed the balcony squad posing with glow sticks. The circumstantial evidence seemed to be stacking up in ways that felt almost too perfect, too neatly aligned with the darker narrative that was forming in people's minds. If this sighting was the real deal, it would line up with what folks were saying about David's tour schedule, which had him in the Northeast from August 20th, 28th, leaving his Tesla sitting in LA, where it caught parking tickets on August 28th and September 6th.
The video. Now, while the girl's features do look a lot like Celeste from what we've seen in the photos, it's really hard to know for sure. A lot of people have said she looks a lot older in these videos, and also her height and weight that was previously described doesn't seem to fully correlate with these.
These were important observations that got completely lost in the rush to identify the girl as Celeste. The medical examiner's office had listed Celeste's height as about 5 or 1 inch, and her weight is 71 pounds. Physical characteristics that didn't exactly match up with what people were seeing in the video, but the internet had already made up its mind. Fam, the girl in the video had to be Celeste, period. The alternative, that it was just a tragic coincidence of somebody looking similar, seemed almost impossible to accept when the story was so compelling, when all the puzzle pieces seemed to fit together so perfectly. And then came the revelation that would change everything and expose just how dangerous online speculation can be when it gets out of hand on September 25th. News Nation's Banfield show aired an exclusive segment that stopped all the speculation dead in its tracks. The girl on the balcony was identified as 18-year-old Mia Lopez, a David superfan from Bethesda, Maryland, who had attended the concert with her friends, including Caleb Burke, who she'd connected with through mutual TikTok follows. Lopez came forward after seeing the viral clip going crazy, providing rock-solid proof of her identity. Her ticket stub showing seat B12 on the balcony. Selfies time-stamped August 24th. And a venue wristband photo.
And now TMZ, who posted and reported on these videos, has updated their article to say that the woman in the videos is not Celeste Rivas, according to a source that is connected to the case. So that could potentially be even a police officer that has already looked into this in their investigation. The fact that they very clearly made this update and blatantly said it is not her according to their source connected to the case makes it sound like they are absolutely sure.
But perhaps most importantly, the timeline just didn't add up, period. Forensic pathologist Dr. Judy Melanin, who News Nation consulted, estimated Celeste's death occurred between late July and early August 2025 based on insect activity and tissue breakdown in the FR, which predates the concert by 3 to 4 weeks. Even the LAPD felt the need to indirectly address the viral video in a September 27 press conference. And yet, even with all this evidence laid out, even with Mia Lopez's identity confirmed beyond any reasonable doubt, there were still cats in the comment sections who just couldn't let go of what they believed they had seen.
What makes this even more eerie is that if it's not her, the fact that David was hanging out with a Celeste lookalike at a time that Celeste was probably already dead. This just makes my skin crawl.
This observation, while understandable, given how emotionally heavy the coincidence is, highlights how even after the debunking, the psychological impact of that initial viral spread continued to mess with people's perceptions of the whole case. The real investigation. So if the concert footage was definitively debunked and put to rest what actually happened to Celeste Rivas Hernandez, let's start by establishing the actual facts of the investigation as they stand. Right now, September 30th, 2025, the Los Angeles Police Department is still investigating Celeste's death, with the case being handled by the LAPD's Hollywood Division Homicide Unit. The investigation is classified as a death investigation rather than a confirmed homicide, though authorities have emphasized that whoever concealed her body committed a criminal act regardless of how she actually died. No arrests have been made and no persons of interest have been publicly named, including David, who's been keeping quiet and canceled his U.S. tour dates amid all the scrutiny. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office released S. death certificate on September 29th, which confirmed she wasn't pregnant and hadn't been pregnant in the year prior, shutting down another set of online rumors that had been spreading like crazy. However, the cause and manner of death remain pending as they wait on toxicology results and further lab tests, with an autopsy completed, but holding off on conclusions pending those outcomes.
New details have come to light surrounding the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. 3 weeks after the body of the 15-year-old was discovered in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to singer David, her death certificate has been released, stating that the teen was not pregnant, nor had she been pregnant in the last year, per the document obtained by TMZ. The report also said an autopsy was performed on Celeste's body prior to it being released to her family on September 23rd, and that the medical examiner is awaiting toxicology results.
On September 29th, LAPD Captain and Commanding Officer Scott M. Williams of the Hollywood Area Division gave a rare on-the-record update to People magazine, dropping some information that definitively kills the concert speculation. We know for sure that Celeste Rivas Hernandez died and someone placed her body in the front trunk area of David Burke's, David's legal name, Tesla. We know that the Tesla had been parked at the location from which it was towed for several weeks, so it is very likely Celeste Rivas Hernandez had been dead for several weeks prior to her body being discovered. Captain Williams added that without knowing the cause of death for sure, we don't know if anyone has any criminal culpability for her death beyond the concealment of her dead body, but confirmed there's still probing into potential foul play. This timeline is absolutely crucial to understanding why that concert footage was impossible from the jump. The Tesla caught parking tickets on August 28th and September 3rd and got impounded on September 6th. While there was no initial mention of an odor in the tow report, that foul smell is what prompted the September 8th search. So what is the investigation actually focusing on right now? Well, the LAPD has been putting in work, building their case through several key avenues of investigation. On September 17th, 18, homicide detectives executed a search warrant at David's West Hollywood rental crib near where they towed the whip from. They seized the laptop or computer, multiple evidence bags with contents that haven't been disclosed, possibly phones and hard drives, though no arrests were made, and David wasn't even there. A separate search of where the car was parked before it got towed turned up. Items of interest. The vehicle itself has become, as one investigator noted, the most important piece of evidence in this whole case. And here's where the technology aspect becomes absolutely fascinating and potentially case-breaking.
From what I know, wasn't them Tesla vehicles gave the clearest 4K pictures ever of the shooters of Julio Fulio? If that's the case, this goddamn Tesla should be the key. If David did this, he's the dumbest thing on earth. Why the hell would you go in Elon's on-road spaceship that records everything and go do a crime and then leave the body in the trunk? They probably got you chopping her up and probably got all types of... This should be pretty easy for the cops.
Full processing of the Model X includes DNA, swabs from the front with the bags reportedly yielding partial prints according to leaks, tire treads. For travel history and app data, however, there's one major limitation. The Sentry Mode cameras were reportedly turned off, meaning there's no video footage, but the OBD2 port data shows the last drive went down around July 28th from David's crib. Tesla logs that got subpoenaed show the front was popped open on July 28th in law, which potentially marks the moment when Celeste's body got placed inside the whip. The investigation has also been heavy on the digital evidence subpoenas to Discord X and TikTok for Celeste's accounts revealed emo posts about toxic love and geotags near David's address. David's phone records have been requested, and alleged 2023 DMS have raised concerns about G. A witness canvas yielded statements from over 20 neighbors with descriptions of a teen girl, possibly Celeste, at parties before the tour jumped off. There's even new TMZ footage from August 2024 showing Celeste in what appears to be a heated argument with some unidentified dude, which actually changes up the whole missing April narrative that had dominated early coverage. Emerging leads include fake IDs that Celeste allegedly used to present herself as 19 years old for clubs, potentially connecting her to David's crew. The family has also provided photos showing bruises on Celeste, though these are undated and currently being reviewed. But yo, here's what we really need to talk about, because it's the elephant in the room that nobody wants to address. The serious damage that was done by the viral spread of that concert footage. Misidentification, though the allegation got debunked relatively quickly within about 48 hours of going viral, the damage had already been done in multiple ways. It amplified existing suspicions about David in ways that may have been unwarranted. Fans started doxing Mia Lopez before her true identity was confirmed. While there are legitimate investigative questions that need answers, the viral concert footage added gasoline to a fire of speculation that may have made it harder for investigators to do their jobs and for the public to focus on actual evidence rather than viral theories and mob justice. This case underscores the dangers of online vigilantism and high-profile deaths. Much like we've seen in cases involving Maury Davis or Gabby Petito, Celeste's family has urged people to focus on providing tips to LAPD at 2134852500, emphasizing justice, not rumors. This whole saga blending celebrity culture, tragedy, and digital mob mentality reminds us how quickly unverified claims can distort the pursuit of truth and cause real harm to real people who don't deserve it. When we see something that seems to fit perfectly into a narrative we've already constructed in our minds, we need to pump the brakes and ask ourselves, are we looking at actual evidence? Or are we seeing what we want to see? Because it confirms what we already believe. The truth is that as of right now, the case remains open with DNA results from the plastic bags and Tesla's technical data still being analyzed. The next major milestones are expected to be toxicology results dropping in mid-October and a full digital dump of evidence. If homicide gets ruled, we can expect warrants to be issued. David's continued silence persists, and the family is pushing for federal involvement if the case stalls out. What we know for certain is this: a 15-year-old girl is dead. Her body was found in circumstances that are deeply suspicious and troubling. Somebody knows what happened to her. Somebody placed her body in that Tesla, and justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez depends not on viral theories or internet detectives jumping to conclusions based on grainy concert footage, but on methodical professional police work that follows the evidence wherever it leads, no matter how long it takes. The concert footage saga teaches us that in our rush to solve mysteries and be the one who cracks the case, we can cause massive harm, not only to innocent people like Mia Lopez, who get caught in the crossfire, but potentially to the investigation itself. By spreading misinformation that investigators then have to spend valuable time and resources debunking rather than focusing on actual leads that could bring justice for Celeste. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to watch another fascinating video like this, click on one of the boxes on your screen right now.